Hi all, welcome aboard Marji Bee. You catch us part the way through preparing Marji Bee for what we plan to be a 10-day trip down the Thames. We're hoping to get as far as Windsor, but we'll see what happens, see how the weather treats us. We may cut that trip short, but I think we're going to do the full 10 days, but we'll see how far we get. We would love it if you join us on our trip. Can we have a little whoop, please, because we're underway? Woo! Woo!
The round trip from our home mooring to Windsor and back is over 180 miles. As I mentioned earlier, we've got 10 days to do it. 10 days, the weather forecast's good. We're really looking forward to it. This is Shifford Lock, our first lock of the day, the first lock downstream from our home mooring. Our aim for today is to cover a fair few miles actually. We're going to head down to, the aim is to be at the lock mooring just below King's Lock, this side of Oxford, upstream of Oxford. And that was us just heading through Newbridge, a lovely bridge over the River Thames, the second oldest, and on towards Northmoor Lock.
You did.
And this is us at Ensham Lock. I kind of feel whenever we get down as far as Ensham Lock that we're almost at Oxford, because kind of when you're driving to Oxford down the A40, Ensham is just before Oxford, but it does take a little bit longer in a boat, to be fair.
We're making good time at the moment. We left Tadpole at around 1 o'clock and it's currently 4:15, so we've been going 3¼ hours. We're in Ensham Lock at the moment and hoping to, we're planning on getting to King's Lock. We'll be stopping over there for the night, maybe wander down to the Trout at Godstow, maybe a bit further to the Perch at Binsey. May even have pizzas at the place next to Bottom's Boatyard again. They were nice last time. But I suspect we'll probably have a bite to eat in either the Trout or the Perch this evening. We'll wait and see. And here comes Petra to do the other lock gate.
And we did make it safely down to King's Lock, although I fear that I may have been ousted from my position of skipper of Marji Bee because Parker decided to take control of matters. We moored up on the lock mooring just below the King's Lock as planned and took a walk into Godstow and then beyond Godstow Lock down almost to the Perch, but we decided not to eat there. We headed back up towards the trout at Godstow and had a meal there instead.
Table for two, please, to eat my starter. Good morning all. It is an absolutely glorious morning here at King's Lock, where we stayed overnight for our first night. It's currently 20 to 8 in the morning. We are hoping to get away a little bit, well, for us, early, so certainly by 9 o'clock. If we can get away for 8:30, then we will do, because we're going to make the journey down through Oxford today, all the way down to Goring. I think we're going to aim to moor up on the lock mooring just below Cleve Lock, where we've stayed before, and it's a lovely spot there, very quiet, and then walk into Goring for the evening for a meal, and then back to the boat because we're going to watch the football this evening. It's the final of the Euros, so fingers crossed for England, and fingers crossed we can get there in time to watch it. Okay.
So after a lovely cruise through Port Meadow, the next port of call really is Osney Bridge, so we start the preparation to pass under the lowest bridge on the Thames. For us, that consists of lowering the mast. It's a very easy job, to be fair. It always looks very tight to go under here, but for us, it's actually not that bad, to be honest. And then normal business is resumed. And what better sight to greet you on leaving a lock than another Freeman 23 on a lock landing waiting to go upstream. Always good to give a wave and say hello because we're all part of the same family. And I didn't mention it last time, but this is our new favourite way for navigating Folly Bridge in Oxford. There's two channels. You've got the main Folly Bridge next to the pub, and then there's the smaller bridge to the starboard side on the way down, the starboard side of the island. And we've been taking that the last couple of times and then going back upstream through the main Folly Bridge. And before we knew it, we were in and through Abingdon, the limit of our holiday in June. So this was fresh waters for us for this year. On our way downriver, we'd been keeping in touch with Chris and Brian in their Freeman 26 Stravagan, who had just been, or they were on their way back from their annual adventure, or Freeman Owners Adventure. This time it was down through the tidal Thames to the Medway and back under the legendary moniker of the Thames Yacht Squadron. We met up with them at the Plough at Clifton Hampden for a pint, or maybe two, and they headed back upstream through Clifton Lock, and we headed downstream through Clifton Hampden Bridge and on towards Goring. Made our way down through Benson and Wallingford. This is Wallingford Bridge here, and on towards Molesford. And as we pass under Molesford Railway Bridge, amazing piece of architecture, we know we're just around the corner from Sheridan Marine, the home of Freeman Cruisers. We will be making a trip back here, back upstream tomorrow to visit Sheridan's, because we have a few pieces to buy for Marji Bee. And here we are moored up at one of our favourite moorings below Cleve Lock, just above Goring. We got here a little later than we'd planned because we were aiming to get here and have a bite to eat in Goring before heading back to the boat to watch the football. But as it was, we were a bit short of time, and Petra hot-footed it into Goring to pick up a curry from the curry house there, and we settled in to have a football evening with curry.
Boys.
We did cheer England on, they did a valiant job, but unfortunately they came up just short. But you know what? It didn't spoil our curry, it was an absolute belter.
Good morning all, it's Monday morning, the morning after the football and curry night before. This morning we're moored at Cleeve Lock, but the plan for this morning is we are going to go back up through Cleeve Lock, because we're just below it at the moment, to Sheridan Marine, the home of Freeman Cruisers, because I have a shopping list that seems to be getting as long as my arm of bits and pieces to buy for Marji Bee that Sheridan Marine are certainly the best place to do it. So that's the plan. Get up through Cleeve Lock, up to Sheridan Marine and spend a lot of money.
I always look forward to a visit to Sheridan Marine. It's an absolute Aladdin's cave of a chandlery. If you're a Freeman owner, there's everything that you'll need to keep your Freeman running. But if you're a boat owner of any type, they'll have bits and pieces that you'll need to keep you going. So please drop in there if you're passing, even if it's just to have an ice cream. And we stopped off just below Goring Lock on the public moorings there, just to pick up a few provisions from the shop in Goring. But the weather took a turn for the worse at this point. It's the first rain we'd really seen, and it really was the picture for the rest of the day today. It was a very grey day. But the first piece of, or the first purchase from Sheridan Marine that we put into use was a windscreen wiper. The last one we had was perished, so I fitted it and it came in useful, although I think it does still need a little bit of adjustment.
So now we are through Pangbourne from Whitchurch Lock. This is now the furthest down river that we've been on Marji Bee.
And this is the meadow of the Maple Durham estate, which is the meadow or the venue where Eddie and I first took our steps out in agility competitions. This wasn't our first ever run, this was a couple of years later, but this is on the meadow there at Maple Durham. That day Eddie had a first place and a third place and a little trophy as well. We had hoped to be the first people to ever turn up at an agility competition in a boat, but unfortunately there's no competitions held there anymore, so maybe at some point in the future. And we made our way down through Reading and Caversham, and unfortunately the rain really got going. This was, to be fair, the only rain we really saw on the whole 10 days. It stopped for a while as we headed towards Sonning, but that evening it absolutely tipped down. It was a fair old storm, but luckily at that point we were safely tucked away in the Bull in Sonning, having a meal in the evening, and the rain just about relented enough for us to make our way back to Marji Bee to settle in for the evening. And so that's it for part 1 of this trip to Windsor and back. If you did enjoy it, please do hit the like button. It helps me know that I'm doing the right thing. And if you don't want to miss any or the rest of the trip, do hit the subscribe button too, and the videos will appear on your feed. It's absolutely free and would be very welcomed.